Okay, live, coming at you a little bit early. We like it when things show up sooner than we expect, although I think it could have got here a day sooner. Actually, I think it could have got here a week sooner or more, because I had to do an exchange. Those of you who watched episode, both of you or whatever, 325, will know that I did an unboxing of the same hat at the end of that one, and of course was shocked and surprised to find that the wrong size was in the box. So I tried to do a quick exchange where they would send me one and then I would return the other one, but they wouldn't do that. They insisted that they had to get this one back. And they were eager to do the exchange. So instead of getting the refund and buying the Resist All one like I said I probably would do, I decided to give it another shot. And got the exact same hat, in the same color and hopefully the correct size. Now, was it 2 years ago? Maybe it was last year. I don't remember. Anyway, I'd ordered some boots from Shepler's, not knowing that Boot Barn had acquired Shepler's, and so I had gotten the wrong or two left boots or whatever the deal was. And so I had gone to Kohl's and dumped them off and reordered it from Boot Barn thinking it was a totally different company, and they had drop shipped the exact same boots that came straight back to my house 2 days later that I then took to Boot Barn with, all the usual complaints and whatnot. And I don't remember if I even ended up reordering those or if that was the boots I got rid of and got the Thursday boots instead, or I don't remember. Anyway, somewhere in one of my boot videos is that exciting saga, right? But Bailey hats, I just did a video 8 days ago, a little over a week ago, 8 or 9 days, somewhere in there, about this. But then I had also done a follow-up called Hat Talk, where I talk a little bit more in detail that nobody's really watched that one yet either. Episode 329. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, hopefully you'll tune in. So this will be a little bit Hat Talk, but I'll probably include some of this in the next Hat Talk if I do another Hat Talk, because I went and got, in the meantime, some hat bands, but I haven't married them to hats yet. But I might swap out these, excuse me, not the one I was going to show, but this is not the correct hat anyway. I had a different Cattleman crease of the MHT, but MHT, a brand that I have a little bit more trouble finding, as I had said, and I couldn't order them direct, and this thing is just going to drive me nuts. Wrong hat. But I had some MHT ones, and I had recently gotten some Stetson ones. My other MHT's in the Cattleman crown, though. But in the longer video, I had discussed this being a Bailey hat and that light felt stamping. So even though I have a bunch that are from places like Duluth and Orvis, when they say this light felt in them, now I'm pretty sure that they're all Bailey hats. But these are, of course, the packable, crushable wool felt ones. I've been wearing this one pretty often lately, not every day. But I broke this one out for this video because, again, more of the pinch front teardrop thing, same as the MHT, the other MHT, not my Cattleman one. So for those of you who don't know the difference of the crowns, I don't have all of the whole array, but I have many more pinch front hats than I do Cattleman crease hats, just because they typically look good on me more. And fans of the channel, of course, will recognize this one from my wannabe Indian. Technically, it's a size too small, so I don't really wear it out the house much because it almost stays put, but I don't know how it would do if there was any wind at all. And so I need to wear it more often, but it's a nice hat, and it is a Bailey, whatever, discontinued model. So I don't know what to tell you if you're looking for something like this, although you could probably find a similar hat and have it more aggressively shaped than the traditional indie brim and all that. Although most of the indie brims are narrower, you might have to buy a wider brim hat and then cut the brim down to get it more this shape. if you want it, or even narrow, or if you want it to look even more like an indie hat. But so anyway, so this is a similar probably quality felt to the Lightning series. They're all somewhere in the 2 or 3x range, I think, in terms of the felt quality and all that. But so anyway, so as I explained in the other video, I wanted basically an upgrade of this because this has the wire brim and all that, and it doesn't do anything bad, but it's not the more popular crown shape. And it is a little warm being a wool felt for this time of year. So I don't wear it very often, although, you know, I have worn it, but nowhere near as much as you would think in the amount of time I've had it. This was called the Dawson, incidentally. And it has this, there's a little bit of green in the hat band, so it matches some of my spring green kind of stuff. But of course, being a tan hat, your results may vary. But so Easter egg, so I got a concho one that is kind of a nice big thick leather. I don't always have a thick band, obviously. Some of them I just leave on the hat because I like them. But other ones, I always feel like the hat needs a little more presence, and the self-band thing, which is why I meant to bring in the other hat that I was going to use with this band and forgot. But this one is a thin band, but it has character, so I like it. Although the back is kind of aggressive. Something like that can mess up your felt. I need to get a pair of pliers and kind of tamp down some of the edges of these doohickeys, and like that one. That one's pretty sharp and sticking up a bit. I noticed that in the store when I bought it, so it wasn't like I was flying blind and just jamming it on the hat the first second I got it home. Because, of course, a couple of the hats hadn't even arrived yet, and I still don't know what I'm doing with the one or the other one. But then something like this. What I don't care for is the buckle, but I don't know if I like this better or not, because it's got this kind of, again, aggressive thing that I assume can be bent down a bit to hold in place without breaking it off. And might have to use some form of fishing line or nylon threads to kind of hold the band in place so it's not just loose on the hat. Haven't figured that out yet either. This, of course, would be thick and really hard to kind of sew through and would kind of look ugly and obvious if you did it too much. But most of the hats that you get from the store do have some kind of hole punch and sewing going on in them. So if you can see that, there's a hole punch there and where it's been attached with some kind of plastic or whatever, not just being held on with the side buckle or strap or however it's affixed. This one, again, discontinued model. I don't know what's going on under the, yeah, that's glued down. Yeah. It's kind of hidden under the lining. So I don't know how or where it's affixed in every spot, but you can see where there is definitely some dents where it's probably sewed in. Yeah. Yeah, there's another one. It's very small. If we can get it, yeah, you can see the dimple there west of the actual connection. See what I'm talking about? So, tricks of the trade. So I might have to go to a professional hat. What do you call them? Custom designer or whatever, and see if they can do a better job. But this one I really like. I don't know if any of these will end up on the new hat because they are a little bit dark. But that was the only way to get the ones with the real contrast, was to buy the darker one, and then the contrast is still kind of subtle because dark brown and black is not that heavy of a contrast. Anyway, so after yapping for almost 10 minutes, I will finally show the actual hat. That, again, is the upgrade of this hat. Now, with the coupon, the online deal, I guess there's no big secrets going on here. It's a hat in a box. And And it is the size that it says it is, we think. It was on the outside. So there's a little bit of foam to keep it from getting smashed. And there's a hat. Here's a box. And everything's falling on the floor today, which is not what I usually go for. Okay, but so we got it in a bag. We have the much ado about hat, but it's an excuse to make another video that people might actually notice that there's an unboxing going on, because the other one is an hour long and nobody likes my hour-long videos very much anyway. So we'll just moving the foam. So this is what I'm talking about, this buckle with the braid, or, well, not braid, but I don't know, band. It's just a bit of the brim chopped into a segment. So it really doesn't have any character at all. And I guess a lot of people like that. You know, they want that kind of generic, simple, plain look. I don't know who came up with it, if it was Stetson and everybody else copied it or somebody else. So this says worn by integrity, sorry. And it shows the, I'll read the tags in a minute. And again, this tag showing up in one of the other hats. But we can see the X's there, and what did it say? Angora blend. This shows 4 X's, but what 4 X's equates to in the other brands, you know, I don't know. Again, this was the same price as, I think, a 3X Stetson after the coupon. It was priced a little bit more. This time it does say the correct size, and there, Bailey, again with the holes. And again with the lining. Many will take out the lining. So American made matters. And then on the back there's a QR code. This product complies with American made matters standards. Your purchase supports American jobs. And then Angora. Now the other brand had a blend that was Nutria. I don't know if Nutria is very different than Beaver, but that was a $500 hat. This was less than $200. So let's see, Bailey. I'm not going to be able to read this with this lighting. It's shiny. Okay, Bailey Angora is made from a blend of the finest wool and Angora. Sorry if you're seeing nothing interesting. I'm trying to keep my face in the shot and be able to read the sticker. Finest wool and Angora, for which is blended, carded, felted, pressed, and hand finished in our world-renowned factory in Pennsylvania. Our Angora felt bodies are appreciated for their superior quality and unparalleled craftsmanship. It's not really supposed to handle the crown very much, but had to do it to read the tag, right? Okay, no big deal. And so that's your basic Cattleman. Again, there's no like seams in the back of a felt hat. There's no ventilation in the crown. There's the 3 crease. There's different variations of this that have become more popular, the brick and other styles that I don't find flattering at all. Like I said, I do typically like the pinch front crowns, which is why I had ordered that one Stetson that I had to return, because it was a little too much like my other hat that I already had from Western Express. But this time, it is the correct size. The fit is still not quite exact. But I know if I went to a 7, it would be too tight. So the problem with the hats like this is the Akubra especially tells you, well, no, don't worry, they'll shrink to fit. But usually the problem is the shrinkage needs to occur where I have all this extra room, not where I don't have a ton. It's not coming down over my ears, but it is still a little wobbly. So we'll have to see how that goes. Again, if it was bigger, it would, like the one they sent me, it would definitely be too big. So you can go back and watch that video. But again, if it was a 7, it would be pinching a little bit, although I might have a little room to squeeze at the sides with a 7. Whereas with this one, if I squeeze too much, then it's going to be too big. So it's kind of right on the verge of not quite being great. I don't know if the Resistol ones fit any better because I haven't really tried any, but they're straw ones. But I think overall for the $50 extra of the base price, I think you're still getting a better quality hat overall. But then with the discount, then we're looking at almost more like $70. So you can kind of determine if it's worth it for the $70. But this one also has a shallower crown supposedly and a narrower brim, I think. Not positive. I think the brim shape is decent. I might relax it out a little bit if I go and try and get it steamed and see if they can make it fit a little more close to correct. But like I said, I knew the one they sent me was wrong. It is pinching my forehead a little bit, so you're gonna see me getting a dent, which is not what you really want. But when the hat's new, I guess you need to just kind of expect that a little bit if it's not going to be too big. It's always, that's the thing too, is like these inexpensive hats come in like size medium, and I never have an issue or rarely have an issue with the fit. I showed in the indie video last week. What number was that? 332 when I got the Akubra. I had also gotten the branded indie in a similar crush felt, and it is a little too big on me. It doesn't fit that great, so I don't wear that one. I kind of got it as a souvenir, I guess, because I usually wear this one. It's almost the same thing from Scala, but and I don't know who made the indie one, but it's wearable. It's not gonna fly off my head. Same as this. So this, it's the right size, but the fit is a little. But since I already have it, like I said, it'll be a while before I need to investigate how we're doing with the Resistol. So let's show the side view from one side, and we'll show the other side view from the other side, and we'll show the back, I guess. Never know. When people want to see how it looks from the back. It looks terrible from the back. I suppose that may be true. But so yeah, obviously, again, a generic standard Cattleman. Again, I might take this off and replace it with one of these two. Not the super thick one, but maybe this one. And see how it looks for the. Yeah, because if I'm wearing a vest, it's probably going to be the darker colored vest, not this colored vest, and that'll match the vest really good. I think that's kind of the direction I'm going with it. It does have the same buckle on this one, though, that I'm not super crazy about, but I don't know. This one's the same thickness, but this one has black in it. Well, they're both black, but a lot more noticeable black. Yeah, I'm thinking this might be the winner over this one. Let's try it on camera and see how we feel. It's about the same. Although this one looks more like the Akubra band. I think I like this one better for more of a safari hat kind of effect. This one I think looks a little more Western with the inlays. So that might be the direction I'm going. Like I said, I'll probably have to take it to a real hat guy, though, to get this stitched down permanently on the thing. See how it goes. As always, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. I don't know what else to say in an unboxing video other than here's a hat and it's what it looks like. And again, how it looks next to the Stetson, I don't know, because I never ordered the Skyline one and I already sent back that other one. But this is more close to the color I was going for than the darker brown ones that all look lighter in the Stetson photos. And we have, of course, the buy me a coffee feature enabled. So if you're feeling so inclined to get me a pizza or subsidize a hat band or something, that would be acceptable. And of course, I didn't bother doing the boycott Tinder video yet. Not too many people have watched the last couple, so I guess maybe I'll do it soon, but probably not today since I just did this. And then, spread the word, fight the good fight, look for real relationships and not, hookup apps and junk, and stop paying the salary of people who don't even like you. And yep, the boots 8 boots in 8 weeks challenge will be either tomorrow or the next day. I haven't decided yet. If I feel like doing it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. So, because it's already Wednesday. Yeah. So look for that. If you're one of my boot viewers who was accidentally watching a hat video just because you got bored, don't worry. Boot content is imminent. All right.